गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीबडी, सभी को नमस्कार। मैं डॉक्टर अनूप मिश्र आज 23 जून को आपके समक्ष अपने सभी अर्थशास्त्र के विद्यार्थियों के लिए जो कोरोना का सेकेंड वेव के बाद भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था की परिस्थिति झलक रही है उसके बारे में थोड़ी बात करूँगा। एंड फ्रेंड्स, टुडे आई विल डिलीवर a small lecture on impact on Indian economy after second wave of COVID-19. So friends, we all know that it has been more than a year and a half. We may say that nearly 16 to 17 months since the COVID-19 pandemic penetrated the deepest core of human civilization and made us realize the situation of uncertainty in economy, and also made us realize the power of nature and the behavioral aspect of the human being. Friends, in India, after the first wave, we all thought that we had gained control of this situation. But we all know that the second wave came in April 2021, found us wanting for basic necessities such as oxygen and medical supplies. हमने देखा अप्रैल और मई माह में कैसे चिकित्सीय सुविधाओं का अचानक बढ़ती हुई मांग की वजह से अभाव हो गया था। ये एक तरह से एक ऐसा दृश्य था जो अर्थव्यवस्था के स्वास्थ्य के प्रति उदासीनता को दर्शाता है। अब ये उदासीनता आज नहीं, पहले से ही भारतवर्ष में दिखाई पड़ी थी। And it might appear that the second wave is on its way out with daily cases at that time, friends, coming down now to under 50,000 from the peak of more than 4 lakh cases daily. But friends, we have lost 3.88 lakh precious life in COVID-19 already in this country. एक दुखद विषय है। पहला लहर, दूसरा लहर, इन सब के बीच में चाहे जिस वजह से हम लोगों ने लगभग 3,88,000 भारतीयों की जान को जाते हुए देखा। So this is a great loss for us. But the second wave of the coronavirus disease 2019, which we called as COVID-19, that is a pandemic, and in India appears to be receding with recorded new daily infection steadily declining from peak of 4,50,000 cases in early May. However, friends, pressure on health care system remain, suggesting that lockdowns which was affected that time in most Indian states may be continued till June. हमने देखा है कि उस वेव की वजह से सारे स्टेट्स ने लॉकडाउन को बढ़ाया है, जिससे इकोनॉमी डाउन स्ट्रीम की ओर जाती चली गई। So friends, early economic indicators suggest that the immediate hit to the economy in June 2021, which is running now, and that June 2021 quarter will be less severe than during the national lockdown in April-May 2020, with current curves being more targeted and the economy better adapted to function under mobility restrictions. So we have to compare both ways regarding talking of the economy, and with the hope that the situation will significantly improve on the medical side. It is time to assess the impact of the second wave on the macroeconomics indicators. इसीलिए हम लोगों को इस समय पहले वेव और दूसरी वेव के तुलनात्मक अध्ययन करने के बाद भारत के मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स इंडिकेटर के टर्म में कुछ बातें करनी होगी, कुछ सतर्कता बरतनी होगी और कुछ एहतियात बरतकर कुछ सुविधाएं देनी होगी. And the government's approach in dealing with the two waves has been different. The response to the second wave has been localized and driven by the state, while in the first wave we went for a national lockdown. This is the two different approaches. Second wave में हमने localized इलाज किया, states पर छोड़ा, जबकि फर्स्ट वेव में नेशनल लॉकडाउन हुआ था, क्योंकि उस समय की भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था की स्थिति या चिकित्सा सेवाओं की स्थिति बद से बदतर थी. उसको सुधारने के लिए नेशनल लॉकडाउन किया गया. लेकिन उसकी वजह से वी ऑल नो फ्रेंड्स, इंडियन इकोनॉमी की स्थिति बहुत स्टीपली डिक्लाइन हुआ था. इस वजह से इस समय सेकेंड वेव में हमने लोकल इलाज करने की बात करके इकोनॉमी के कुछ हिस्सों को खोले रखा. We attribute to the economic compulsion of the hard-hit central government and progressive spread of the virus. Friends, the second wave started in the west with Maharashtra, went up north, and then it peaked in the South Indian states also. And this spread journey makes a national lockdown economically suboptimal. That's why, to understand the economic impact of the second wave, friends, let's remind ourselves of the first wave and its impact on the economy. In the first wave, we went through a prolonged national lockdown and significantly lower number of peak cases. Manufacturing and the urban economy had come to a grinding halt, while the rural economy continued to move because of less strict lockdowns. इसको हमको सोचना होगा कि पहले वेव में कैसे ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था खुली रही, जबकि शहर की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर आदि हार्डली हिट हुआ, बहुत तेजी से हिट हुआ. As a result, agriculture, which is the primary driver of our rural economy, providing employment to 58% of our population, continued to grow. And this was the silver line of the Indian economy in the first one. And friends, agriculture further benefited from good monsoon and cheaper and higher availability of labor due to reverse migration. हम लोगों ने देखा है जिसकी वजह से एग्रीकल्चर को फायदा हुआ था फर्स्ट वेव में. And reflecting the GDP figures, our agriculture economy grew by 3.4%, while the overall economy contracted with 7.7% in financial year 2021. So friends, the first wave was primarily urban in spread. इसको ध्यान देना होगा कि पहला वेव शहर को ज़्यादा प्रभावित किया, शहर की इकोनॉमी को ज़्यादा प्रभावित करता है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर को ज़्यादा प्रभावित करता है. इसीलिए हम इसको सेकेंड वेव से तुलना के स्वरूप को बदल सकते हैं. फ्रेंड्स, अर्बन एरियाज रिपोर्टेड मोर केसेस देन रूरल एरियाज फॉर द फर्स्ट 5 months of the spread in the first wave. And in the second wave, rural areas started reporting more cases than urban ones from the second month itself. So this is the entirely different between first and second wave. An analysis of more than 50 most severely hit districts, in which 26 were in rural areas. And friends, rural areas in the state of Maharashtra area, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala were the worst impacted. The situation was further aggravated due to the inadequacy of medical infrastructure in the rural areas and rush of patients from villages and smaller towns to the urban centers. So, while talking of the impact on economy due to second wave, here I will only talk about all the three sectors very briefly, about agriculture sector, manufacturing sector and service sectors. And friends, this second wave has been stricter and longer lockdowns in the rural parts of the country. Due to lockdowns, APMC mandis, and we all know during the COVID era, lot of discussions was due to new agriculture law, has been closed for operation or have taken such steps voluntarily. Specifically, APMC mandis in Gujarat, Rajasthan and Maharashtra were closed during the peak harvesting season. So this we have to notice. And farmers were not prepared for the ensuing chaos. That's why second wave was different in the nature. As the mandis have still not opened fully till today, crops are rotting in the fields. Due to the closure of mandis, vegetable vendors and processing industries have also been hit. So in the second wave, farmers hit little bit badly than the first wave. And we can also see that contrasting impact of the first and the second wave in the agriculture wage is the growth data. Friends, the average wage growth for the agriculture sector for the period of November 2020 to March 2021 has reduced to 2.9% during second wave, from 8.5% in April to August 2020 during first wave. So this was the situation impact on agriculture. And when we talk about the manufacturing sector, that was the receiving end in both the first and the second waves. So friends, to control the coronavirus spread, COVID spread, most of the manufacturing sector had to work at a lesser capacity or shutdown. Non-essential manufacturing was hit for longer and with more severe restrictions. So friends, the fear of prolonged lockdowns in the month of May led to migration back to the villages. हमने देखा सेकेंड वेव में भी डर था, भय था, जिसकी वजह से सेकेंड वेव में भी थोड़ा बहुत माइग्रेशन हुआ. इसलिए सीएमआई का रिपोर्ट देखेंगे तो सीएमआई की रिपोर्ट में बेरोजगारी की संख्या बढ़ी है ड्यू टू दिस लॉकडाउन. फ्रेंड्स, इन एडिशन, the global and local supply chains had also not fully normalized after the first wave. So, that means the high cost of procuring raw materials for both small and large industries. And this is a bad condition for the Indian manufacturing sector. And when we are talking about the service sector, friends, the service sector in the last 2 decades has become the bedrock of Indian economy, contributing to more than half of the GDP. That's why in this COVID era, our services and knowledge-based industries have been built on the manufacturing industry premises of the 18th century, that is proximity and discipline of workers to the factory is critical in getting good output. We apply the same philosophy for our software engineers, our IIT sectors and telecalling workforce. With the internet revolution, this premises has proven to be an unnecessary legacy of the past. Now, the workforce can be decentralized and anyone can work from anywhere till the time there is a 4G internet. So, we all believe that COVID will provide a positive disruption for the service sector in the long run. So this is another side which we should look when we are talking about the post-COVID impact on the Indian economy. And friends, the first wave required a steep learning curve for the organization to develop infrastructure and processes of remote working. For the employees, first wave lockdowns were new paradigm, and it looks them some time to adjust to work from home and be productive. Prolonged lockdown and unlocking phases during the first wave ensured that both the employer and employee got into a rhythm and the productivity started reaching pre-COVID levels. The second wave disrupted this rhythm. So friends, हमने कुछ सकारात्मक परिस्थितियों को भी देखा. पहले परिस्थिति में हम एडजस्ट हुए, लेकिन दूसरी परिस्थिति में हमको घर से काम करने की आदत बन गई, हम ज़्यादा प्रोडक्टिव हो गए, लेकिन सेकेंड वेव में फिर उस रिदम को तोड़ा. सो फ्रेंड्स, द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द सेकेंड वेव हैज बीन लोकलाइज्ड and centered around groups of people with typical disruptions costing 3-4 weeks of productivity. And when we are talking about the post-COVID impact on Indian economy, let us give you some ideas to summarize this. That in financial year 2021, that was the reflection of wave 1, Indian GDP growth was minus 7.3%. Service GDP percent growth was contracted by 16%. Manufacturing GDP percentage growth was contracted by 7.2%. But agriculture GDP growth was a growth of 3.4% positive. And percentage of contribution of the overall GDP, we will talk about that in GDP growth, that was nil in the first wave. And 55% services GDP for the manufacturing sector, and 17.4% for the service sector, and 17.8% for the agriculture sector during the first wave. And then when we are talking about the second wave, dear friends, expected impact of the second wave will be 8.2 to 9.3% GDP's growth, India's GDP growth. That is overall growth due to the base effect, but reduced forecast by the rating agencies. We all know this also. And then regarding services GDP growth, significantly lower than wave 1, and manufacturing GDP percentage growth is also lower than wave 1. But for the agriculture GDP growth, this will be higher than wave first. So friends, lastly I can say that the overall impact on GDP seems that on May 31st, the Indian government released the data of GDP that during the financial year 2021, GDP contracted by 7.3%, and it is the most severe contraction from the time India got its independence. This is due to COVID impact. The reason behind this trajectory are obvious: lockdown, leading to the closing of all business units, increasing unemployment rate, and a significant decline in domestic consumption. And this is obvious, friends. This we have to see like this. For the current financial year, the Reserve Bank of India has anticipated growth of 10.5%. But the rating agencies across the globe have downgraded due to the impact of the second wave of COVID-19. Moody's initially projected 13.7% of growth for financial year 2021-22, but later after the second wave, Moody's lowered it to 9.3%. So these all are the database analysis, and the same goes with the S&P Global Rating. So friends, to summarize on the macroeconomics numbers of GDP, we expect a less severe impact of the second wave due to less strict localized lockdowns, and particularly a lesser number of days in reaching the peak numbers of infections. And friends, agriculture will see a deeper cut from the second wave compared to the first wave where it grows. Our hopes of economics revival are pinned to us having an express vaccination drive, which takes away the fear of third wave and the revival of consumer confidence and spending. And friend, that's why India set an ambitious target to manufacture more than 2 billion COVID-19 vaccine by December, and that's enough to inculcate most of its massive 1.3 billion population. But authorities have to convince people to get their shots, particularly those in small towns and villages in the countryside where there is a degree of vaccine hesitancy. India needs an efficient vaccine delivery plan that will help those small towns and rural areas access vaccination centers more easily. Vaccine delivery and access are also challenges in rural areas due to lack of infrastructure. So friends, vaccinating India's rural population is a real challenge after second wave. India needs an efficient vaccine delivery plan, and that includes setting enough vaccination centers along the country. And that's why with this vaccination drive, India could again revive her economy. Thank you.